moment and talk about reading rhetorically. Reading rhetorically, it actually involves the steps that we're going to do before we actually start reading. Reading is about step 6. So when we're starting out and looking at an article that we're reading or information that we're gathering in a textual way, we start out by looking for the main topic. Now we can figure out what the main topic of an article is simply by looking at its title. We might also look at if there's pictures or other text involved, but we're looking at the big headings that are involved. And that tells us what is this going to be about, or what is the position of this paper that we're reading. After we've ID'd the main topic, we look at some information regarding it. Who's the author? Is the author somebody who is qualified to be writing on this particular topic? Are they someone who is an expert in the field, or are they a newspaper person who is a renowned journalist that is sharing information to educate the greater public? Or is it not listed, or is it listed at a site that just generally says it comes from this site, or nothing listed at all? So we'd also want to know, where is this being published? Is this being published on a reputable research organization, a research journal? Is it being published in a newspaper for greater consumption for the public good? Is it published in an online format or in an online forum dedicated to a smaller segment or population? Is it published in a journal, newspaper, forum area that is known for biased information and or fake news? And as you're looking at where is it published, the big question we want to know, is it credible? So next, after we're looking at what is the topic, who is the author, is this a credible source, we need to think about what style or genre is this. And the biggest pieces of this, is this a news piece? Is it a research piece? Is it a persuasive or an argument? Or we'll even call this opinion. And if you see something like it being called an analysis, most often analysis pieces are opinion pieces. That doesn't mean that the information being presented isn't factual. It means that this person has a position and they are backing up their argument with information that hopefully does include facts. So as we're starting out this process of reading rhetorically, we want to start off by making sure we're taking notes. And we're taking notes of these specific things here. We're looking at the main topic, the author. This is a credible source. We want to be making annotations around the article to note that these are indeed the good and bad of this particular article we're reading. And this is where we're getting into step 6. This is where we're actually going to start reading. So, if you look at this, we have now crossed 6 steps before we've ever got to reading, and here we are reading at step 6. As we continue our last steps, after we've started reading, step number 7, we're looking at the design features. These design features are what we look at to be our visual guides for how the topics are going to change. Design features can be things, as we're reading, that we see like headings. graphs, pictures, tables. Any elements that help us understand the topic and the ideas that are being expressed. So these design features that we also look for can help us understand if there are additional resources that we can go out and look and find more information on the topic. So that could be cited sources, or links for more information. And very much linked to this idea is our step 8 here. And this is the idea that as we finish reading an article, we need to think critically. When we're taking notes, we're probably going to write a summary of what we read. We're also going to provide some analysis. The idea of what did we notice, what did we not notice? Did we see any bias? Did we see any details that were left out? Did they have false examples or things that we know not to be true referenced in them? In this analysis, this comes from you. This is your thoughts. Because what you think matters, and how you understand something also matters. The other pieces of thinking critically as you're going through and doing this, as we mentioned here, are the sources cited. Do they have references or examples, or do they give you examples of others that they contacted to make the story and get their information? And also thinking critically, when we think about the author, what was their desired purpose that we talked about earlier? Were they effective or not? Making sure I have all my notes. And as we mentioned before, are there some counter arguments? And any missing or incorrect information? And as you're taking your notes on an article and doing your annotating, at the end of the article, these pieces, the summary and analysis and this critical thinking, these are the notes that you're going to have at the end. What did you understand and what did you notice about this article in a very critical, rhetorical way? Thank you for your time.